birthday. All right, guys, we are live. I did not do a count in. I screwed up the intro. Normally I do a count in, counting down from 30 to 1, but I screwed up the intro, but it's all good. And the stream was supposed to start at 8 o'clock, but yeah, we kicked it back a little early just because we had some things going on. To start off the stream, Sean, the Hadalorian, is unfortunately able to join us. He had some family situation that came up. Everything's okay, but he hit me up a few minutes before stream saying, hey, man, unfortunately, I can't make it, but it's all good. I mean, life happens, right? It's only toys we're talking about. It's not the end of the world, but Sean is going to make an adamant comeback next week, but we have another Sean here. No, just kidding. Oop. And so basically, so what's that?
He's the other Sean.
No, stop it. So I am joined here with two fantastic people. I am here with Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, or also the Bearded Bear, as we like to call him here on this channel. And we also have C&B as well, with a little raccoon sitting there. So how are you guys both doing this evening, this Monday evening?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Yeah, there we go. So I'm exhausted. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had a long day today. My daughter was off for President's Day. I was off also. She's sleeping. I'm tired of shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm exhausted. I'm excited to talk to you guys. I really haven't talked to you guys for a couple of days now. So I'm excited to catch up. And if I sound a little melancholy, I'm just kind of relaxed and not trying to wake my daughter up who's sleeping next door. Before we start, I'll let people trickle in. I gotta talk to you guys about something. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. It wasn't last week. It was the week before. I think I announced I'm having another kid. My wife is pregnant. She's about 13 weeks along with our baby number 2, and it is a boy. And reality is hitting me, gentlemen. It's hitting me because I mentioned that this room is going to be deconstructed and it's going to be the baby room, and I'm moving all my stuff downstairs. So I'm not really worried about like where figures are. You know, I got figures all over the place. But today I have a bassinet and I have a rocker in my room. So I'm starting to acquire baby items I haven't had for about almost 4 years. I'm having back in my room, and I'm just having like it's setting in right now that another kid's on the way. So I'm looking at a bassinet and a rocker next to me in this room right now, and I'm just like, oh boy, it's coming. So I'm having a little bit of a reality check at the moment. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, but that being said, let me jump in and see who's in the live chat. Let's see who's got going on. We got some guy here on what's up, my favorite peoples. You are number one, some guy. You are my number one, so to speak, as the Joker would say to Bob. And we have Carlito here, who is a channel member. And yes, for those who maybe you're wondering, I did open back up my channel memberships. I do have a couple members already that have joined. If you're interested in joining, you can hit the join button down below. I was very torn about the channel button situation. I did have it. I turned it off because I felt like I wasn't generating enough content that made it worthy. But I have had people, you know, want to support in other ways and stuff like that. So I'm cranking out a lot of content recently. I got videos up for the next like month and a half. So I figure, you know, I will I'll turn the channel back on, and those who want to support, I really do appreciate it via super chat or whatever it is. But Carlito is one of, I think, 4 channel members that I have right now. So I do appreciate the support, Carlito. Thank you so much. Electric Collectors here saying, what's up, everybody? Hope you're doing great. Bad Boy for Life saying, what's up, collectors? Martin saying, hey, hope you're doing great as well. TK592 saying, Huffy Tough Fumes. So X-Men Supreme saying, all right, let's get into some toy stuff. Absolutely. There's a lot to talk about tonight. TK592 with the ice emojis. And yeah, it is cold out in Jersey. And the collector saying, congratulations on the new baby. Thank you so much. Yes, it is a baby boy. She's about 13 weeks. And yeah. And Jeremy just shout out saying, like the 1/6 Ghostbuster video you made, keep up the good work. Speaking of, if anyone saw my Instagram, so I made a video about Ray, and there is Peter. He surprisingly came today. So there is Peter. I just kind of set him up real fast. So I am on the hunt for Ghostbusters. I have 2 of the 4. If anyone has a lead on Egon and or Winston, hit me up. I had 1 failed attempt at Egon, but Peter just arrived today, unboxed him, so he is there. Alex is saying, greetings, collectors. So I'll let more people trickle in, but guys, we got a lot to talk about. Sean, I want to get your thoughts on stuff. And CMB, since it's a small crowd and just the three of us. I kind of just want to have an open forum, just to shoot the shit kind of discussion. So we don't got to be necessarily formal. So guys speak up, so I don't have to talk a lot myself because I'm just trying to keep my baby from waking up on me. But we'll jump right into it. Black Adam. We got a lot of things. He just got announced today. This wasn't announced technically before. Like, we saw the photos. I mean, we saw the boxes. Like, it did come from Hong Kong already, but these are the official blogger photos, and there is also reviews out on this. But just initially, like, Sean, I know we kind of talked backstage, but like, what do you got? I know you're not getting this because I know you're being a little more curative and selective, so to speak. But let me know, what are you thinking about it though?
I think it's well done. I like the head sculpt, how everything is. I don't like the line with what you were showing me backstage for the head. I don't like that. I think the suit looks good though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I only seen like a little bit of the video that you just showed in the back. I haven't watched the video yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the video up in a second. I'll go through these blogger photos are fantastic. So I'll flip through the photos, and then there's already a couple of reviews up. I'll pull the reviews up so that way we can just continue talking.
Yeah, but I did see the blogger photos last night, and I mean, overall, it's nice and everything. I'm wondering about the material and what that's going to do, what kind of poses you're going to have and everything. I like the two different head sculpts, though. The one with the big eyebrow raised up. But yeah, it's not something I'm collecting. Not because I don't want it. I actually do. I'm just being responsible because I have so much on order.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of person that, okay, well, if I'm getting one, I kind of want to do 3 versions of it. One, where everything's darker and he's wearing the hood, and then one where he's wearing the darker one without the hood, and then obviously the gold. But I mean, overall, I think everyone who's getting this is going to be happy.
Yeah. So, I mean, CNB, I'll jump to you. I mean, we'll talk about this. This is a review that came up. We'll just play this in the background. This channel, I'll link it in here. This channel actually, I believe, does the reviews in 2 different languages. It does it this one, then there's an English version, but since it's muted anyway, we'll just watch it. But it's a real. I do have the golden version on order. It's a little disappointing right here, and a lot of people kind of feel the same sentiment about this. And Sean, I don't know if you agree or not about it, but number one, too many SKUs. 3 SKUs is BS. It doesn't need to have. I mean, if you want to do 2 SKUs, that's fine, but having 3 SKUs is really overkill, in my opinion, for that. And for me, I'm only getting the golden version because I don't need. That's a lot of money to buy multiples. But I'm gonna try to find the hood from the blue version and put it on the gold one because I like the hood look from the beginning of the movie when he wore the hood and he was attacked, getting shot up and everything. I really like that look a lot. So I'm going to try to, which I think a lot of people might do, I'm going to try to find the hood from one of the other DXs and actually put it on this version. And that's going to be like my version of Black Adam.
Well, see, the good thing is with this, though, is, if it's on Monkey Depot or Toy Anxiety or eBay, I've never really shopped on Macari, so I don't know if it would ever be there or not. But I mean, you could always look for that
on Macari.
Yeah, and you could also look for an extra body and then put the second head sculpt with that. And then you could show both versions too. So that way you could shop smarter.
Yep, and save some money there.
You could bash the second head sculpt and make a different Rock or Dwayne Johnson figure.
Which I think a lot of people are going to do that, right, CMB?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. What do you? I mean,
smart. I mean, it's a good head sculpt. I mean, you compare this one to the one they did for the G.I. Joe Retaliation, and this looks like Dwayne Johnson, whereas the one that they did for G.I. Joe, it missed the mark. Like, even with the whole goatee trying to hide his facial structures and everything to make him known as Dwayne Johnson, like, it completely missed the mark.
You thought that head sculpt was that bad?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah. I think he put
I gave that head sculpt a 7 though, because I thought it was.
I think at the beginning of this review, he's got the head sculpt up here. I'll play it back real fast. I think he puts it up at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, the only G.I. Joe figures I liked from Hot Toys was Storm Shadow and General Colton.
Yeah.
To me, that doesn't look like Dwayne Johnson. That looks like his stunt double, Derek Jackson.
I mean, grab the figure. I mean, I guess. I mean, but it's not terrible though for a figure that's what 10
No,
years
it's not
old.
terrible, but I mean, I'm saying if you compare the Black Adam head sculpt to that one,
Oh yeah,
the
no,
Black Adam one kills it. I
oh
mean,
no doubt, no doubt. I mean, that sculpt is like. I mean, I dare to say this is a figure. This is a figure of the year contender for me. Easily top 10. Easily already. This is an amazing piece. I think the head sculpt is just absolutely amazing. But like CMB, like you think from the proto to this, do you think it improved? Do you think it stayed the same or deviated a little bit off?
honestly, I don't think it deviated. I actually think it looks better than the proto. Because the proto, I remember when we first saw it, we were talking about it on Geeking Out, we said that it looked like it needed some tweaking.
Yeah.
And it definitely looks like they went back. I'm not saying that they heard the collectors and they listened to us, none of that stuff. I'm thinking that they actually saw some things that needed more refining and they went ahead and did it. And and it shows. It really does.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting about this, and CMB, did you watch this video yet that we're showing here?
No, I only
Okay.
watched the Sideshow unboxing.
Cool. I don't remember. I think Sideshow did it. It's just that I saw this first, and once I saw it, I was good. Is that it's interesting, and I showed Sean backstage. My concern about this, because I have the golden version, I personally don't like the cape on it. I feel like he looks better without the cape, like just as is, but nevertheless. So I was really intrigued about how the cape would look on him, whether it would look very like detached, like it looks very seamless there. And I was talking to Monica, and Monica was talking to me. He was like, dude, he's like, it's very innovative what they're doing with the figure. And I was like, oh, yeah, they always do. I wasn't knowing much about what he was saying. But then I saw how the cape actually gets applied. And for those in the live chat or watching who haven't seen this yet, I have to admit, I actually like the way that you actually apply the cape to this figure. I don't know if you saw this CMB. It's going to come up in a second.
Yeah, you pop it off, unscrew the portion.
I personally like that.
I like
don't
it.
know about
No,
you.
I was going to say that I think that's a really good idea of how they're doing it. I think maybe going forward, they should do that with their caped figures.
Yeah.
Especially Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Because
even Batman too,
Yeah, because the thing with Black Adam, which I bothered me about, is that even though the cape was CGI probably in the movie, but it looked very CGI in the movie. Does that make sense? Like you knew it was fake, but like there's usually a good way they can pull it off. And so I was wondering how
likes to cut corners on their CGI.
yeah, and I was wondering how it would translate to figure form if it would maintain it or look like like there. It looks really good, like it looks seamless. And the way they achieved it makes a lot of sense, how you actually unscrew and take it apart and lays over. And like you said, I looked at that, I was like, whoa. And at first I was kind of like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. But then after I watched it like 2 or 3 times, I'm like, I actually like that a lot, the way it is, that you take the whole mechanism apart to put the cape on. I do think it's a smarter way to do it. And like I said, I think that they should apply it to other figures going forward with capes. That being said, if I get this fit, when I get it eventually, I'm not going to probably have the cape on it. I think I like them better without the cape personally. I just, it was kind of added to the end. And also the way that it's USB hooked up too. I wasn't totally a fan of the way it was, because it was doing the kind of thing. Well, I don't want to spoil it for people watching, because we're just watching along with this, because I know Sean also hasn't seen this. But the cape looks good. Like I said, it looks well constructed, wires in it and stuff like that, so it looks really nice, and the material of it looks really great. But like I said, how you actually install it, I think we're going to get to it right now, how it actually gets installed.
I didn't like the look of the long cape for him.
Yeah,
because when you read the comics, Black Adam had that short cape.
yep.
But even then, I don't really like the short cape look either. But in the movie, when he wasn't wearing a cape, I liked it when he had the hood when he first showed up, because the hood made him look menacing and all that. It was good for
blue outfit.
what they were trying to achieve when he first shows up. And then when he wasn't wearing the cape, I liked that look of Black Adam too, without the cape. And then the long cape, I just thought was it was stupid for the movie. I understand he's supposed to, like, he redeemed himself, and it was that he showed that he was worthy of the power. But I mean, you could have just given him the golden accents. You didn't really have to do the super long cape, I just felt that it was unnecessary.
And then this part here with the USB, this is something that pisses me off so much about Hot Toys, is just how like inconsistent they are with technologies. And I understand if we really want to dive into the conversation, well, this figure came out at this point. They could have done I don't like peeling back the suit. I don't like personally peeling the suit back and leaving it open like this. I didn't like it for the in-art Superman, on record about that. I thought that sucked. I love the light up feature. It looks very impactful with it lit up, to be honest. It does
I like the switch. That they
yeah,
give
I do
you
like
the
the switch
option
a
with the
lot.
switch.
Yeah. I don't like how you leave the suit open in the back. I was never a
No.
fan of that move. I
You
don't like
can, if you look at it though, because it's a thin wire, you can close the majority of the suit up
yeah.
because it's Velcro. So you can basically, you don't see that like when he plugs it in, you know, they just he didn't bother to Velcro it shut,
Yeah.
obviously just for review purposes to show
Now
you
the one
this, but
thing I
it's
don't
thin.
like the one thing I don't like also is the plug here. I don't like this version of this plug. I mean, what bothers me is that they could have done what they did with Electro. Anyone who has Electro, it's USB-C, so you can just run a USB-C right into its back, and do it that way. So that's just me personally. Those plugs I've seen on other things, and they're more fragile. So you could have probably done a USB-C. I'm not saying it's
Yeah, if you
ignorant
yank
to
it in the
say,
wrong
but
way, man. If you
what's
yank it
that?
in the wrong way, if you yank that cord in the
Yep.
wrong way,
Mhm.
because the little plug-in head, the adapter that plugs into its back, that's gonna snap.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful. Because I used to have things with that type of adapter, and plenty of times I pulled it just too hard, like a quick yank, and it just literally snapped that headpiece off. And I think 2 or 3 times I had to get pliers to actually pull it out of because it was stuck in there in the connection. So just a heads up for people, if you do plan to plug it up, be careful when you go to unplug them. Don't just yank it or just try to pull it out. You're gonna have to actually be you have to be soft and sweet. Treat it like your lover.
Soft and sweet, as CMB says. It's the quote of the night, soft and sweet.
Soft and
While we're going
sweet.
through this, I just want to circle back, if we may, and I just want to jump into some comments real fast. Let's go back. Martin says, let me pull some comment. Whoops. There. Martin says, great looking figure. I just don't care for the movie. That's perfectly valid. Shazam. I keep saying Shazam. Black Adam was it was one of those throwaway kind of movies. It wasn't going to lead to anything. To be honest with you, I actually wasn't that bad. The movie, when I went into it with no expectations, I didn't mind the movie, believe it or not. I thought it was pretty entertaining. My one favorite takeaway performance actually was Pierce Brosnan. I thought Pierce Brosnan stole the movie for what he did, and so I appreciated that a lot more. Big Dog Pound One in the chat, giving out the woos there. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Striker 47 says, good evening, everyone. It's amazing how the Black Adam figure got the VIP treatment from Hot Toys, put the Iron Man packaging, but yet they can't give that to other figures sometimes. Well, I've always said that they're hit or miss with stuff. And who said it? I was talking to today. I forget who said it. But I remember someone saying that sometimes they feel like WB gets probably the better treatment of the figures because there's less of them, but yet the quality of them are probably one of the better ones against Marvel and Star Wars. So I imagine because Marvel and Star Wars are pumping out more quantities of figures, there's not that much love shown to them, or rather it's hit or miss more versus WB. That's just my opinion. And Big Dog says, I love that The Rock turned heel in WWE. Yeah. I mean, don't be surprised, by the way, if you see him maybe doing some promo pics with this on his Instagram or something like that. Bad Boy for Life says he's coming home with me, him fighting Superman.
Bro, you could literally make a Rock WWE figure.
100. And you know someone's going to make a custom. Absolutely.
Yeah, because all you got to do is get a bison body and some black Speedos and elbow pads and boots. Done. You got yourself The Rock.
Yep. Big Dog agree. He says, Big Dog says the G.I. Joe head sculpt doesn't compare to the Black Adam. So you got some agreeing there with you, CMB. And like I said, we got some other people saying hello to people in the chat, a little bit of conversing going on. What is this? AZ Maddox says, restore the Snyderverse. Sad WB brought back Henry Cavill just to fire him. I will say that's probably one of the more exciting points of Black Adam was when we got the tease at the end, and unfortunately that led to nothing. And Carlito says, the figure is proof that Hot Toys can make a decent looking cape, which they've had a better cape for the 2022 Batman. Yeah, I'm on record by saying I think Hot Toys capes are shit. Honestly, there's not a cape that has really impressed me from Hot Toys, except Sean. I guess you can attest to Moon Knight is probably the best cape that I've seen from Hot Toys.
The Moon Knight
cape is the best cape Hot Toys ever made.
Yeah, right.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
that.
CMB, do you have Moon
It is
Knight
the
or
best.
do you have Moon Knight?
Nope, I don't. But the local shop had it, and I was
Nice.
playing around with it, and I was gonna get it from them. I didn't have the money at the time, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'll be back next weekend to grab it. Yeah.
And then you never did.
Oh well,
Yeah.
I showed up and somebody else had gotten it.
Hmm.
It's not
X-Men
like they're gonna
Supreme
put
says,
anything on hold for me, but it's fine. I got to see it in person. I got to play with it, so that way I was able to say, all right, whenever I get a chance, because it was one of those things. It was another one of those figures where I had to put it on the chopping block, just personal circumstances at the time. But now things are clearing up, so I should be able to go and backtrack. A couple of my backup sites do have it. It's a little bit more pricier than it was retail, but not by a whole bunch where I'm like, oh, hell no. So backtrack and get it from the backup site.
you just see, I haven't seen the Sideshow first look. We'll play that. We'll wrap up with Black Adam with this one. I haven't seen this one specifically, but I want to run through some comments still. X-Men Supreme says it's a fantastic looking figure. I just wish that other figures from better movies got better treatment. Like I said, that's a valid opinion because there's definitely some that I think didn't get great treatment as well. But for someone that's as iconic as The Rock, who reaches people from other entities, the wrestling community, the movie, all that stuff. This was a figure. I think we can all agree here that they had to nail this figure. If this thing didn't look like The Rock, for the amount of SKUs that it had, the price that it was, it would have just been, it wouldn't have looked good for Hot Toys. So if anything, this is one that I felt that they definitely had to nail, so to speak. Now, X-Men Supreme says, I don't know about the IP quality argument. It's all coming from Hot Toys and whoever they contract the builds out to. Like I said, it's all completely valid. Different people making different sculpts. I didn't see who the sculptor was on the Black Adam. I usually try to make a point to find out who sculpted it. If anyone happens to
That's
know,
what I was about to say is
yeah,
I don't
know.
necessarily think it's the actor or the characters with the figures get better love. I think it just depends on the team that's handling it.
Yeah, I don't know who sculpted
because
him.
they have multiple teams.
Yeah, I don't know who sculpted him. I'm not sure who did. Commander Green saying, "What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well." Eric, channel member, thank you so much for joining. Saying hello to all collectors. I do hope you're doing great. Striker 47s. Oh my God, congratulations on the baby. Many blessings to you and your family. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. You'll be seeing updates to the channel over the next couple of months where I'm going to probably be doing a documentation tour of documenting the whole change and move and all that stuff. But nevertheless, Sean, I got a question for you. You said that you kind of changing up your curating, I will use the word, kind of net focusing. Is this something that, because of the amount of SKUs it might sit, do you see yourself potentially picking this up down the road if you find it for a discount, let's say, the nice word that we all like to hear? Or is this totally ruled out for you 100%?
For now, it's more than likely ruled out. However, it's one of those things where you see a hot toy you're on the fence about, and then all of a sudden it's like less than $150. I would probably pick it up then.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen with this figure. I don't really think it will.
Yeah.
But it's just, I got a large area, but eventually you run out of space, and I have plans for what I want in the future. And so I got to really limit what I get.
Yeah.
So, because I'm still expecting more from Batman 2022.
Yeah.
And, the Batman 2 coming out. Plus, I'm kind of hoping DC is going to go backwards and give us more stuff.
89 Joker 2.0, please.
Or, something, like Catwoman. But for now, it's just not in my main categories of what I'm collecting. So.
Understood. No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's the thing, and I reiterate this. CMB, you and I've always talked about this all the time. It's perfectly fine not to get something, right? Even if we're talking about it, it's perfectly fine not to get anything. You can appreciate something that looks great, but you don't have to buy it. It's too much money. You're working on something else. Like, it's completely fine. I personally, and now granted, I am not that person. CMB, you know me. Sean, you know me. I'm not the minute detail scrutinizer. I look at it from kind of a far lens. If it looks like The Rock, everything looks good. I'm like, yeah, boom, I'm good. I'm not going to sit there with a microscope and the pattern of the suit stitching goes left when it should go right. I'm not that person. I don't live my life like that. I think that's just me personally, right? And I know there's other people like that. Um, for people to shit on this, say, oh, I haven't seen anybody be negative about it. I think everyone's been pretty well positive about it. The only negative I have is, like I said, I just think it's too many SKUs. 3DX SKUs is just a bit much for me. You could have done 2 versions, a blue with the base and made it feel more like it. I just think 3 SKUs is excessive for this character. That's just my personal opinion, but that's not a knock on the quality of the figure. That's just the way that the thing was packaged and is being sold as. Honestly, I totally forgot there was 3 SKUs until today when someone asked me, what do you get? And I said the gold version. They're like, oh, well, which of the 3? I'm like, what do you mean there's 3? I thought there was 2. I thought there was blue and gold, and that was it. I didn't even know there was technically 2 blue versions. I had no idea until today. So that's just me. But I got a couple questions for you guys. So we can talk. Oh, speaking of wrestling right there. So I want to give it. So Sean and CMB, what do you guys want to talk about next? So I got C3PO queued up. I got Beetlejuice queued up, and I got Jaz Inc, which we're going to talk about Jaz Inc. So which one do you guys want to talk about next? Oh, and Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah, you pick, CB.
Let the chat pick.
Let the chat pick? Ooh.
Let the chat
Yeah,
pick.
let the chat pick.
Who are we going to talk
Chat
about? We're going to talk about everything. There's a little bit of hate that we're going to throw out there too. So if you guys want the hate now, or you want the hate later, whichever one you want. I'll jump back into the comments while we're waiting. Carlito says, I feel like this may be Peacemaker, amazing figure that no one expected to be this good. That's very, very possible. Let's see. China loves The Rock. This figure will still sell very well. Yes. Felipe says, cheers, guys, and everybody watching.
2 for hate, 1 for Spider-Man so far.
Hate now. T Crate 85 says, hate now.
3
You're
hate.
welcome to
Okay.
hate now. Then Jaz Inc. Well, the hate is Jaz Inc. So that's what the hate is. It is Jaz Inc. Martin says, can't wait for my C3PO to ship. I'm using Kenner 1/3 3PO and 90s. Oh, hate. All right, let's do hate. Let's see. Let's go to hate.
Okay, so I have no idea what's going on with Jazz.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. So Jaz Inc.
I'm not worried. I'm not concerned about it. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, no, but I want your opinions on it because you're obviously a Jaz Inc. You know, you own Jaz Inc products. So I was going to talk to Sean about this, but it is what it is. You know, we'll do. So Jaz Inc. puts up this post, right? I'll pull it up here. So they put up this. Let's see, where is the post? Oh, there's 2 things I want to talk about actually. So Jaz Inc. put up a post the other day. I wish I had it queued up, ready to go. But apparently they've announced the next project for their next Batmobile. And so he put up a poll, which I actually forgot he even did. And he put up a poll about what the next project was going to be Batman related. And apparently, I'm not going to find the poll because it's buried somewhere in the chat, but it's the 89, it's the animated version. The animated series Batmobile is what he said they're going to work on. He said, okay, so the animated series Batman is the winner of the poll. Before we open pre-orders, I need to establish details, size, features, etc. So I want to make it with the opening cockpit, lights, obviously this, that, and the other. Cool, I guess. So he's talking about the animated car, which to me, it's very iconic to me if you're growing up with this. I grew up with this TV show. It's awesome. I love it. You know, it's cool as a toy. And then he posted, and then I guess Jaz Inc. posted some photos where this got shot down by a lot of people, I think. He wanted to do he had this idea. So this is very exciting. Thanks to a suggestion. What do you guys think about using this model for the animated Batmobile? This way it looks a bit more realistic and less like a simple box, a simple toy. Please answer yay or nay. And these are either renderings or this is from another model, which it looks pretty cool. It's like a more realistic version of the car versus it just being square, and that's what it is. It looks cool, but I mean, don't know if that. I don't know. A lot of people in the chat said no. Go back to the original design. You know, keep the car the way it is. They grew up on the car. I mean, I read the comments. You know, a lot of people saying, you know, keep the car the way it is. Go back to the squared off design. Dude, I don't know. I've been kind of critical, and like I said, I have the '89 Batmobile on order. However, after the fiasco, I'm calling it, with the Jedi, what was it? The Jedi Starfighter, where people voted on something, and then no, like Yost kind of called out the people because he was like, "Hey, you guys voted, put this thing up for pre-order," and then no one really stepped up to the plate to buy the product. He even made a plea video basically saying, this is what it is. I forget who it was. I think it was Maz from Maz's Toy Box. He turned around and did the calculations. He's like, I want you guys to know something. Like, this scale, da da da. He's like, this car, theoretically, if you do this car in 1/6 scale, it's bigger than, like, I forget what vehicle. It's like bigger than something else, he said. Like, it's huge. It would be a long ass vehicle. For me, I don't know how realistic of a, and this is where Sean, we could talk about stuff, because I'm not pre-ordering this thing. It's I don't know, a waste of money. It's too much money for what it would be. But for me, I don't think it's a smart business module to keep making products that are voted on people, in the community like that. I get the concept where it's like kind of like people's champion, like, hey, you're letting the people have a voice, but ultimately, I feel like this is something that's really targeting a very narrow audience. That's my opinion. Just like the 90, I watched his video on the 95 Batmobile, and someone in the live chat can correct me. I think he said he was only making like 500 units or something like that. It was very small compared to like the 89. But I mean, Sean, when you see this, like I said, I think you can still offer input into it aside from, you're not getting it or not. But do you see this as a potential fail for Jaz Inc. if they go
I
down this
actually
path of making this vehicle, or do you see it as this is going to be another success?
No, I actually do. Just because of how iconic the Batman the animated series is. So when he posted this,
Do you think it's gonna be
I
successful?
did.
You mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay.
I
Cool.
think it will. Because when I saw this, I was like, you know what? I haven't bought anything from Jazzinc for a long time. There's a reason why.
What was the last thing that you bought?
From him.
Yeah.
The last thing I got was a Falcon cockpit.
What year?
That
When was
I ordered
that?
from him. So
How long ago? How old is that Falcon cockpit?
Let's see.
Roughly.
It was supposed to first ship in June of 2020, and it didn't.
Okay, so that thing's not like 4 or 5 years old. It's like under.
So,
It's under.
yeah, it was ended up being. I got mine, and I had ordered way before several hundred other people did, but I didn't get mine till like August of 2021 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's within the last 3 years.
So you think that this car could be a very good, especially also, I forget who mentioned it. Oh, hey DeLorean, he said this, Sean. He said that you could see those third party and the Mondo animated figures sell out now because people are going to want to pair this up with those. I think there's a third party company on 1/6 kit that's doing the animated series Batman. And I think Mondo did 1/6 scale. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I think Mondo did it.
it's S Hero, and they're doing both versions of the animated one. The original one when he had the yellow chest symbol, and then later I think season 4 when it switched up and he just had the black.
The black and gray, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
over 5 feet. 5
For
feet.
this in 1/6 scale.
Assuming.
Holy googly moogly.
That would mean the car is 30 feet long.
Maz, I'm let me see if I can dig through.
But I mean, yeah, look at the animated picture right there where he's working on the hood. Go up right there.
That is a big car.
Yeah, that's definitely like longer than 30 feet.
There's a comment in here. I'm telling you, I think it was Maz that did it. I remember he said something like, because here it is right here. Here's it. Having measured the OG 1/12 car I have, DC Collectibles, this is 1/6 scale car, will be over 4 feet long. That's huge. So that puts it longer than the Blitzway Ecto 1. It will be gorgeous though, but I think people should basically need to grasp the concept of how long it is. So he's saying over 4, and Batman Collectibles, thanks for being in here. Another Batman fan. Love the symbol. Love it. Thank you so much. You're saying 5. Nevertheless, that's a big ass car, and people struggled with that Ecto 1 to have that on display. So
yeah, dude, that box
big ass
in
piece.
the Ecto 1 box is huge.
Yeah.
So I mean, this coming in a box, oof.
Longer than the Ecto 1. Yep. So, yep. So that's insane. I mean, to build that, I mean, I don't know what the price point is going to be on that. I don't know if that's still going to be a $1,500 price tag. There's not much to the car though, so that's kind of what your thing is. It's a very basic design. I know that's where Yoast wanted to kind of maybe upgrade it and give it more. I mean, there's nothing going on to it. It's just it's a very simple design. So this is more of a case of the overall sheer mass of it's just going to be the presence. You know what I mean? There's not much going on. I mean, he could do the hood underneath the engine if you want to do all that stuff. I just look at this and I'm just wondering, and I think I commented about this after the 89, but then even after, like I said, when people voted on the Anakin Starfighter, and he's gonna get enough to fill his quota. He even said that. He goes, once it goes into production, people are gonna see it and then pre-order more. So he wasn't concerned about the Jedi Starfighter, but that was the first time I ever saw Yoast actually make like a backup video calling people out. And there was a comment here about it. Let's see. Yeah, Batman, once again, he said, I don't see this thing selling well. A lot of voters just aren't buyers. And that's kind of the thing. I mean, CMB, going to you on this, is that I don't know how long that business model will really last. That you're basically in an open Facebook, not a closed Facebook group that literally 14, I think he's got like how many viewers? 14,000 members. So literally anyone can vote on anything. But that doesn't mean jack when it comes time to buy something. And I just don't know if that's how smart you can keep doing that business model for like your next venture of what you want to build. Now, like what Sean says, Batman does sell. They're probably his most popular vehicles amongst everything else he's done. I just don't know how smart it is to keep that going, to let people just randomly vote on the stuff that, okay, that's what we're going to do. I don't know.
Well, see, this is the thing though, is Yoast products are incredibly heavy.
Yeah.
If this is going to be 4 or 5 feet long, he has to have this thing hollowed out.
Yeah.
Just put the attention to detail on the outside, make everything hollow on the inside, because we're probably going to be looking just like a 1/3 scale statue, like $600 for this thing to be shipped.
Die cast maybe in the wheels,
Yep.
have these vents die cast, maybe die cast here, but all this should just be a shell. No, like you said, hollow, like all this die cast accents there just to give it a
Don't
little bit
even
of
make
weight.
it to where the cockpit opens.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, he's going to charge close to $2,000 plus $600 for shipping. And then we're going to have surprise import fees coming up to so many people. They pay shipping and everything else. And then all of a sudden they're getting an extra bill from FedEx or whoever it is for another $150. So that $600 turns into $750 shipping.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the price of this is going to be when it ultimately goes up. I just don't know if I can. That comes back to the whole thing about like when you put down your dot, like the '89 Batmobile, which I think is incredibly impressive. So far from the prototype, it's $14.99. I just see this at like I just wonder what this is going to be priced at. Like if it's going to be $14.99 or more, and just the value in it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not necessarily hating on it, but when I saw this, I definitely was like, whoa, he's actually going to do this. Cause I was like, I'm surprised. I'm surprised like something else didn't get voted on necessarily, but I was, that's just, I don't know. That's a little nuts for me.
On the voting thing too, I do want to add one thing.
Yeah.
Is he shouldn't be doing the voting on Facebook. He should be doing it on his website. And people who have only bought something, like for example, it's been more than 2 years since I bought something, so I shouldn't have a vote. You know, and he should be asking just people who have bought stuff from him in the last so many months, maybe 12 months, 24 months, and then getting an accurate count from there from people that have done that. Or even, you know, because he's been behind on things. So maybe stretch it out a little bit to, okay, we shipped something to you in the last 12 months, so you can vote.
Yeah.
Something like that is what Yoast should do. And then he could get an accurate account of what it really is. Because Facebook, you know, just like what you said, like so many thousands of people, but you're only going to make 500 a product.
Yeah. 15,000 people are going to decide the fate of maybe 500 people are going to buy this thing. It's like, you know, and like I went through the aggravation with the '89 Batmobile because when that's what he does is as he gets more funding, he adds more stuff to the car, like more details, which isn't a bad thing. But I was an advocate of not wanting it. But I remember in the beginning, he was like, we're going to figure out who wants a motorized cockpit on the '89. And like everybody wanted one. And I was like, no, I don't want a motorized cockpit because that's something that could break on the car that I don't need. Like I'm not going to sit there and hit a button and open the cockpit every time. Like it's just one more thing that could break. And that's the problem, is that the majority of people Luckily, that did not happen because it does. He said aesthetically and engineering, it's just not worth it. And so, thank God that fell by the wayside. But like CMB, like you know, uh, I know your thoughts on like Jazz Inc. in general, what was going on, but like from a business perspective, which I know you can easily speak on that. What do you think about that in terms of the whole voting system? Do you think that down the road it could definitely? I mean, I think it's slightly burnt Yoast on the Jedi Starfighter. That's me.
No,
I think it
that'll
started to.
definitely that kind of tactic. While it looks good to the customer because you get the feeling that you're being listened to, you also put your company in jeopardy because it can come back to bite you in the ass. Like, uh, let's just say hypothetically, you put something up for pre-order because of the vote system, and you expect uh, to get, we'll say, 1,000 vehicles. We're not. I'm going to say what vehicle. We'll just say it's because it's hypothetical. 1,000. You're trying to produce 1,000 and sell 1,000, but you only get uh, 400. You just now took a huge loss on a gamble that you were hoping and assuming that because of the voting system that this thing would sell out, pre-orders would be maxed at 1,000, and then in the long run it comes down to 400. With that, you assumed that you would get 1,000, you only get 400. That's 600 vehicles that you pretty much paid to have produced, but aren't going to go nowhere. So that money that could have been used if you just had done like a closed voting system, like what Sean said, with your diehard customers and people who place newer orders, you would then have a better assumption and the numbers on how many you needed to produce and things of that nature. But if you overproduce but undersell, one, you have to bite the bullet and take the loss because it's no longer profit; it's now negatives. And two, that money that you were hoping to get because you oversold yourself, you just lost money that you could have put towards, if you had done a smaller batch, making that vehicle even better and giving people like the bells and whistles, paint apps, all of that into a lower run instead of spreading yourself out too thin and hoping that you would make the numbers. Like it's fine, I would say, to do a voting system maybe once in a while, but I would do a closed voting system with your customers that are diehards, so that way you know how much you're spending. Because if you do it on something like social media, like you guys already said, there's gonna be people who don't even own his products but are voting, and that hurts you because
Yeah.
you're under the assumption that, oh man, I got all these people that are interested that said that they're gonna buy it, and then when push comes to shove, you don't meet those numbers. So you just now took a huge hit because what you thought was going to bring in profit has now taken a chunk out of your actual full budget, because now you're going to have to spend money where you're not making money.
Yeah.
And that hurts you in the long run because as a business, you always want to stay in the black, not the red. But if you do stuff like a voting system like this and people don't pony up, you're going to be in the red. And that's the type of stuff that will literally bankrupt you overnight or keep you going for the next couple of months for things like that in the business. And I mean, like I said, I can understand why he did it because it shows like, oh, they're listening to us, things of that nature. But you take a gamble when you do an open voting system. Like, you are literally gambling on whether or not people are going to pony up when it comes push comes to shove. And are they going to drop the $2,000+ to get this, or are they going to back out?
100%. Absolutely.
So I mean,
Great points all the way around.
I really think that it's a stupid move. To me, it's it's a form of virtue signaling.
I have no problem if he picks the vehicle and then maybe he tells people, hey, you want to vote on X amount of features, A, B, C, D, E. These are what we can do initially, and then chip away at them. Because that's what happens is that, there's an initial set of features that can go into the car. So I wouldn't be care if he said, hey, listen, we're going to do the animated Batmobile. That is what he decided. But nevertheless, like I said, not trying to hate. It's just that this was a shocker. And there's a couple of people that even mentioned that. And I want to jump and answer some comments. But we do have a super chat here from Batman Collectibles. Thank you so much. You didn't need to do that, but I really do appreciate that. He said he even mentioned his most popular piece, the 89, lost quite a few POs after the cutoff date. Lots of FOMO, especially at this price range. Absolutely 100% well spoken. And let me just give you a little bit of a throwback since we are. Do I have anything? Well, since I'm feeling nostalgia and I have my Ghostbuster Blitzway next to me, we'll do a little thank you for you in the form of Ghostbusters.
All right. Anything. Thanks so much. Thank you. Hope we can help you again. Coming through.
I have to find a Batman thank you for that, but Batman Collectibles, I hope you don't mind a Ghostbusters thank you for the time being. It's still 80s pop culture, and nevertheless, I hope that's great. I do want to double back because there was some good comments in here to kind of help me with the panel and help answer Sean. Carlito once again says, my question is, does Yost still use resin for his vehicle bodies, or has he moved on the injection molding? He goes, I only asked because how heavy the Justice Mobile was. It had issues because of weight. And I do remember, I think Hay DeLorean's is actually even on stilts. It's the wheels, if I remember, his are not actually on the ground. And because the weight was kind of bottoming out. So I'm not sure if, Sean, you are aware of that, because I know you said it's been a little bit since you've gotten the vehicles. I know Hay DeLorean, if he was here, probably could speak to it, because I know he just recently got like the 66 and I know he has the 22 Batmobile, but I'm not sure specifically on that.
So from the last thing that I have and everything I have from him, it's all resin.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe if
it's improved resin, or not, I don't really know.
Or if anyone in the live chat can answer, by all means. Yeah, if anyone in the live chat.
I remember when he announced the 2022 or basically the Batman Batmobile.
Yeah, 2022.
People writing him, asking him what the materials were, and he said it was museum grade resin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go and you look up museum grade resin is equivalent to the same type of plastics that they use for Hasbro toys and stuff you buy at Walmart.
Gotcha. Well,
it's just a fancy name of making something sound more better than it really is. Like when car commercials try to trick you and say military grade. Well, you talk to anybody in the military and they'll tell you, well, military grade just means cheapest bidder won, so you're getting absolute shit.
Alex says, my problem with this is that the choice should have been between the 97 and the Arkham car. This vehicle throws everything off. I do understand what you mean by that, because someone else, I think, kind of said the 97 was garbage, which the movie was garbage. So some, no problem with that. It doesn't make sense, because what do we have? We have a 66, we have an 89. He did the Batman Forever. Then you would have had the Batman and Robin. There's a Tumbler by Hot Toys. And then you have the Robert Pattinson 22 Batmobile. So in theory, and the Arkham car I know is very popular. And I know that he didn't do the Arkham car because I don't think he was aware that it had two modes. It had like a condensed mode. I didn't play the game, but I know that there was a condensed mode, and then there was a mode where the car expanded, if I'm not mistaken.
Turned into a tank.
Yeah, he was only aware of the larger model and was like, oh, that's not realistic to make a car, because this. And then I think someone mentioned that, well, you could do the condensed version of it, and it could scale to 1/6 better. So I don't know if that's still on the table, but I know that was a little bit of a situation I remember with that specifically. And then let's see, Degrade 85 says he went with nostalgia, which doesn't always pay off. That's true. Absolutely. Just because it's nostalgic doesn't mean depends on the price tag. Nostalgia.
I mean, that's why I grabbed the S-Hero animated series 1/6 Batman, because it's nostalgic, but I don't really necessarily need the car, just because I'm not going to pay a ridiculous amount from Jaz Inc. for the animated car. No, I'm good. I mean, the show was awesome, and it reminds me of being a kid, but I'm not going to drop $2,800 on a car that you're just kind of guess working with, because it's all from a cartoon.
X-Men Supreme says, I don't think we're giving Yost enough credit. He's spoken in the past about meeting quotas and how people will cancel and all that, and he's talked about not starting projects based on PO numbers. Just be clear, I mean, he's definitely, I got the 89 Batmobile on order, and I do think that I don't think that we're hating on it per se. I think I'm just questioning that this was an odd one that just popped up on my Facebook, like, oh, he's doing the 89. Like, I was kind of surprised. I thought that he put up a vote for something in line to be more of a completion. Like, as much as people hate the 97 Batmobile, from a completionist standpoint, I don't know. People who are getting every vehicle, they may want that one to complete all the movie cars. I don't know. There's some reason why I brought this up, is because it was just an oddball one that popped up on my Facebook feed that, like, oh, he's doing this one. Not surprising me. Batman says, "Love Ghostbusters." Thank you so much for that. So that was the only reason why. But nevertheless, and Jeremy says, you see, they released the Rogue 1/6 for Mondo tomorrow. I did see the previews on that. We could bring that up if we have some time, absolutely. But this was like I said, that's just what I wanted to talk about with Jaz Inc. Wasn't really any hate, so I apologize to anyone in the crowd if they expected anything worse than what it was. I am trying to be more modest, but no, there's no hate here. I know that he gets a lot of love in the community, and that to each their own. It's just like I said, wanted to bring this up as a surprise topic because I was kind of shocked that he was doing the animated series car. So, nevertheless, jump into there's some wrestling going on there. Let's jump into C3PO, and I'll just play this review, and then we can kind of just skip through. But I want to give a shout out to TK421 Collectibles, who's the Star Wars review goat, in my opinion. Anyone who's doing Star Wars reviews, I like watching his because they're very unbiased, just tells it like it is, and they come out quick. And I think they answer all the questions I normally would have about the figure. So the C3PO finally came out. This was another one with like Black Adam where we got tipped off early, like it was out, but to get the blogger photos and everything. Now, I have to admit, and Sean and CMB, I don't know if you guys saw anything, but I there's a lot of people who tapped out on the Attack of the Clones. I be one of them, if you want to call that, because I personally didn't like the Attack of the Clones version where he was super dirty, rusted. Didn't mind the movie, but I didn't like that version. And when this one came out for PO, I opted to pre-order this one. I just didn't want the rusted version. And TK does do a comparison of them next to each other a little bit later on in the video. I did watch this ahead of time, but now it's pony up time, right? I mean, people, tapped out on that one for any other reason. Now here we go. And so I'm excited about this personally. I really am. The only thing that I heard about this, and CMB, I'll throw it to you first, is if you want to say complaint, call it a tap out. I don't really care. Is people were questioning the weathering on this, whether there was enough of it, whether it was accurate, whatever you may be. I personally think it looks perfect. It's fine, no complaints. I'm excited for it. What do you think about this?
I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I have it on pre-order, so I mean, I was the same way with you. I didn't want the rusty, dirty looking C3PO. I was gonna wait for a goldenrod, and we got goldenrod. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have any. I don't get where the. I mean, I guess it just depends on what part of the scene in Return of the Jedi they're basically trying to use with C3PO. I mean, yeah, he was dirty when he was with Jabba, but I mean, that's because Jabba kept throwing the toads and stuff at him and didn't care about that. But when you see him with the Ewoks, they clean him up. So, I mean, it just really depends. I mean, I understand that this is supposed to be Jabba's palace and that's Salacious Crumb, but we've seen Hot Toys where they like to do amalgamations of a character where they'll combine a bunch of different scenes of one character into one figure. So I think it looks good. I think people are just nitpicking and making excuses on why they want to tap out, because I remember when the Attack of the Clones C3PO came out, people were saying the weathering wasn't right, the wires in his abdomen there wasn't enough. Every excuse you can think of was given. So I mean, to me, it just seems like people are just looking for something to complain about.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like I said, the figure looked really awesome. I was waiting for this one to come out. I did have the Attack of the Clones one on order, and I did cancel it. There was opportunities for me to pick it up later on, even at a discounted price. But like I said, for me, I don't need there's certain characters I just don't need multiples of. C3PO wasn't one of them. Now, if another one of him does come up for like a New Hope or something like that, then I would definitely maybe break that rule and consider it. Is that the Attack of the Clones was just a little too dirty for me. And as I said, at the end of this video, you will see the comparison. And I think it's pretty night and day, like really night and day in terms of even with this one with the weathering. And I saw people online talking about even the potential idea, which I think is asinine, absolutely asinine and I know someone's going to do it. Someone right now, clip this comment, clip me, screen grab me, whatever you want to do. the first person you're absolute ass to do it, honestly, is if someone goes in with that material, that liquid that for the Chrome Mando and tries to wipe off all this stuff. Like they were doing with the Chrome Mando, the dirty one when I did it on the Chrome Mando, but that was because I had a spare one. I didn't do it on my original. I have one Chrome Mando that's left mint, and then I have another one that I got aftermarket. And I sat there and I removed all the dirt off that one to see how it looks. But I even saw it mentioned that people were even thinking maybe like threw out the idea of like, oh, I wonder what this thing would look like if someone took a Q-tip with that. I forgot what that solution's called. I have a bottle of it lying around somewhere, and actually, yeah, or whatever. And it wasn't something like it, but it was. I forgot what it was called. And actually sat there and scrubbed this thing down and actually made it the golden like polished version. And I'm just like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. And can't wait for someone to ruin a figure by doing that. But someone's going to do it. There's always one person that does it. And I forget the name of it. Well, whatever. I don't remember the name of it was. There was a company that made it, but nevertheless. But Sean, you're getting this one or?
I am. So I do have the Attack of the Clones version.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really happy with it. So, I mean, it's C3-PO, original trilogy. So of course I'm going to get it. There's talk. Some people are saying that the chest piece, well, the entire upper torso is up too high, but I don't think it is for Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I think the costume changed between movies from A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, but for Return of the Jedi, I think it's up high enough, or at least where it's supposed to be for Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, is people saying, oh, the weathering's too much. I don't think so. I mean, canceling an order because of the weathering, there's too much weathering. I'm sorry, but I mean, they're the same people who cancel orders because there's not enough weathering.
Yeah.
On an item. So, I mean, where's the middle ground for it? Me, I'm just going to collect what I want and that's it.
Yep.
There's way too many haters in this community. It's like, oh, somebody made a comment about, yeah, I don't care about the weathering. I'm still getting it. And then they start like bashing. I'm like, yeah, waste your money. We'll wait for the next one. We don't know if there's going to be a next one.
Yep. Too many people try to tell you how to spend your money. That's why that's my saying. If they don't pay your bills, then they don't get to tell you how to spend your money.
Well, look at 40th anniversary. How many people held out on stuff for 40th anniversary, hoping, and look what happened. We got like 2 figures, whatever it was, and then we got a random Han Solo drop, 8 months later. So,
hey, I never gave up hope for the 40th. I was hoping.
I still think we're getting more.
Seriously.
I think they're just trickling them out.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to it. None whatsoever. Yeah. Enjoy it. That's what I say. Enjoy it.
Why don't we have a TIE fighter pilot?
I know. That's what I've been begging for like forever.
Why don't we have Imperial officers?
I want AT driver.
I want Imperial
Give
officers.
us Admiral Piet. I would love Admiral Piet from Empire Strikes Back.
Why can't we have a 6-scale Vader meditation chamber, damn it?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because Jaz Inc. has actually made that.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Oh, well, then I'm sorry, you're lost.
I'll wait for Hot Toys.
I'll wait for Hot Toys, yeah.
That's funny.
Where have I heard that line before?
I'll wait for
General Veers, yes, Martin K. General Veers would be awesome. Sorry.
No.
Getting like all excited and everything over here.
No, continue because it's one of those things where absolutely. So it's just I think it's a great looking piece, and like you said, it's Hot Toys. I think I keep saying this over and over again. No one listens to me. It's okay. I think Hot Toys reset people's expectations of what to expect when it comes to anniversary years. I understand it gives people hope. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong to be excited about stuff.
He recreated the blogger photo.
Yeah. That's really smart. That's smart.
Hey, cool. Speaking of Imperial officers, by the way, I went to the nerd store here in West Valley, So for those of you that don't know, I'm in Utah, by the way. And I picked up General Krennic for $250.
I hate you.
Oof.
I know you do.
I hate you so much.
So I got it for $250. I just grabbed it and I was like, I was like ready to go check out. I was like, I need to check everything. And everything's good. So of course I bought it. And so what I'm gonna do, because I already have one, now I'm gonna put him with his rain gear on and put him in the display. But yeah, more stuff like that.
I was trying to find. I wasn't prepared for this part of the conversation, so I apologize. Like right there, I'll just mute that. Pause that right there. I mean, to me, that's a huge difference. That's just like, and I know everyone's raving on the Attack of the Clones. I have nothing to say negatively about this figure. You could see torso is a little bit different, the wiring, things like that. I think it's a great looking figure. I came very close to buying it once or twice. It's just like I said, it's just too much for me. Especially when seeing it like next to this one, it's like this is the version I want. And like I said, C3PO at this point with so many other things that I'm collecting, I don't need multiples. I have one R2D2, so I'd want this one next to the R2. Call it a day. Classic setup, very simple. I'm done. Obviously, that could totally be I'm full of shit. If then A New Hope comes out, then all right, you can stick to whatever. I can eat crow pie, right? Is that you say CMB? Eat crow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll eat crow
pie.
then. I'll eat crow at that point. I'm fine with that. But that was just my whole thing. Just didn't need, and like there was other stuff going on with Attack of the Clones. I had other POs and stuff. But nevertheless. MB Dyson says, MB Dyson 829, thank you for being here, sir. If it's die cast, it should be polished metal, not painted, but how much die cast? Well, I think the percentage of it, what's the percentage that it has to be die cast for it to be labeled? Is it like 60%?
No.
Or
I think
higher?
it's like 40.
Oh, it only has to be 40. Okay.
Yeah,
so
because look at the
Mark
IV
One
hologram.
Yeah.
That has die cast and it's heavier than what everyone expected it to be.
Yeah.
But
I know for it to be labeled die cast on the box, it has to be over a certain percentage for it to be officially labeled die cast.
Yeah.
Like I know the Mark One is labeled die cast, and that's very sporadic all over the figure. So
yeah, there's only one like true all die cast C3PO, and it was made by
Takami Nations or Takawa.
No. I think it was Tamashi Nations.
Tamashi Nations.
Yeah.
They made a full die cast.
Yeah, full die cast.
Denobi has that one. I know most some other people have that. So,
and that's the one that people really search after, is because it's pretty much 100% die cast. And I mean, if you can find it, it usually resells for $1,000 or higher.
Don Prime, thank you so much for being here, sir. I hope you're doing well tonight. He says when 3PO comes in, might break down a Sideshow 3PO and make a Empire Strikes Back parts and build a net back. Yes, that's the version of Chewbacca that I want. If we get a Return of the Jedi Chewbacca, which would be fantastic, I would love to have an Empire Strikes Back one with the fishnet and a dismantled C3PO on his back. That would be really awesome. Some guy saying, please make sure to catch Ryan Monday nights and subscribe. Thank you so much. I got 61 people watching currently. Been maintaining that the whole time. Thanks so much. Really would consider dropping a like on this video. Really would appreciate it, or the live stream for that matter. I'm used to saying videos all the time. I'll wait for Artisan 3PO. There we go.
It'll be rooted wiring.
Yeah, rooted actual wires that you can manipulate each one of them, and they could potentially get tangled up by accident if you twist the torso too much. Robert online
at a time, you electrocute yourself.
Yeah, Robert online.
Anthony Daniels' face behind the mask.
Yeah, you have to be able to take it off, and it's Anthony Daniels behind. Yeah.
Yep.
Robert online says thinking just buying a 12-inch Hasbro. Yep.
Because if you pay attention to A New Hope, when C-3PO is first sitting down with Luke and family, you see his human hand. They made a mistake. They didn't put on his
that's funny.
his gloved hand. So if you pause it just at the right moment, you can literally see him with his human hand on the right side, his right hand.
Jordan Skinner, thank you so much for being here. She said, Cape Cod polish is what I used on my Chrome Mando and it looks great. Yeah, there's a brand to it. I can't remember what it was. I have the bottle sitting somewhere. It's not the end of the world, but I just know that there's a a solution I used on a Q-tip, and I just sat there and rubbed areas away, and then it brought it back to full shine. I'm just waiting for the first person to do it on this one, and is what it is. Carlito says 3PO was only chromed out in a few scenes. This version of him represents what he looked like in most of the original trilogy. Yep. Just people jumping in, making comments, having conversation back and forth. Robert Online says, beautiful 3PO, but feel he's a D-list character and would rather just put a 12-inch representation. Don't want to shell out $300 to $400 unless it's a major character like an Iron Man or something. I can't I'm not going to say that you're right or wrong. That's your opinion. It's your collection. Like CMB says, it's your money. If you don't feel, and that's actually kind of the way I felt about the Attack of the Clones version, like spending like $350, whatever it was at the time, for that version that I wasn't totally sold on. I understand where you're coming from. Absolutely. MB Dyson says, I would totally display an Anthony Daniels 3PO, even though it breaks the illusion. It would just be cool to have. Absolutely. And yes, TK5 says Tamashi. Yes. Tamashi Nations. Thank you for that. And Don Prime says 35 to 40% is the threshold for the die-cast labeling on the box. And Martin K says, with there being fewer big releases films out this year, it would be cool if Hot Toys went deeper into some lines for older films. Well, you know what, guys? That might be a great segue. Like I said, thank you so much, TK421. I will drop your information there. I think I have your link up. If someone has TK4, if someone in the live chat, if someone has availability to TK421's YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate it if someone can drop that in the live chat. Jump over there. Definitely give him a subscribe if you haven't. He does really great stuff. As a matter of fact, while I'm on his channel real fast, I just want to, TK421, great guy. He does so many unboxings of stuff, and he gets stuff in like so soon. It's crazy. And not only that, though, he does a lot of great retro unboxings. I think it's pretty cool. And I got a lot of support on the Ghostbusters and also the Jack Sparrow that I did, because a lot of those figures are older reviews, and sometimes it's cool to see a fresh take. Sometimes it's cool to see stuff that's just shot at better quality. Let's be honest. If you're looking at videos from 5-6 years ago, the quality is not what they are now. So you kind of maybe miss details or things like that. So it's sometimes nice to just get a refresher, even if it's an old figure. Maybe it's something you're considering buying, a Grail. But nevertheless, he's got a really great series where he's going back and he's doing all the New Hope figures. And so he's going back and doing a retro unboxing time and time again. And he's going through a New Hope, and then he's going to go through some other figures. And he's also branching out to doing other non-Star Wars figures. Like there's Toby and some other things there. So definitely check him out. Definitely give him a subscribe. He's a great guy. I streamed with him once or twice before. So really great guy. And like I said, I check out a lot of his Star Wars stuff. I think he's the GOAT when it comes to Star Wars only. But TK421, absolutely great. But speaking of the segue of that comment,
hey, can I make one more comment here real quick on C3PO?
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, is, with the whole body and everything being done, now we have a chance with where they can make other, protocol droids.
Yes, 100%.
Like that. So, for example, I don't know the number of it or the nomenclature for the white.
Yes.
Protocol droid from Empire Strikes Back. We could get that. The one type of droid that we saw on the Death Star and in the Mandalorian that has like the face that comes out with the bug eyes.
Yep.
It was in Star Wars Rebels also. That type of droid. I mean, that would be cool if Hot Toys started going with that, and just, that'd be awesome. But
only time will tell. Absolutely. I just want to go back real fast. Eric, channel member, once again, thank you. He says next C3PO would be a 25th anniversary Phantom Menace or Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary. Isn't next year? When's A New Hope?
A New Hope? Isn't it this year? Or no?
50th.
1997?
No. A New Hope.
No,
50th.
No Hope.
A New Hope.
A New Hope. 1977.
So that's not that far away either. So you got like 2 or 3 more chances potentially for a 3PO, depending on what they want to do.
Anniversary is Phantom Menace that's coming up.
Oh yeah, Phantom Menace is the legitimate next one. Don is quick. There you go, 2027 50th. So you never know. But as I said, don't expect too much because you never know what's gonna happen. But that being said, going back to what comment was it? Someone made a comment about Martin's comment about with there being less films coming out and material. It'd be cool if they went deeper into some lines of some older films. Now I don't know about the older films, but here's an example. I know, me, you and I talked about it. I think we both even agreed. It's not rocket science if you didn't think it was, but I mean, they're going to start dipping back into stuff, this year. Everyone's going to be the I told you so person, so to speak. And it's funny because there's not that much source material out there except for Deadpool. So they're going to dive into other stuff. You're going to see 2.0s, stuff out of the vault, different versions of Artisans, things like that. And I think there's lines that people forgot. And CMB, you and I, we talked about it. There it is, Spider-Man 2. People kind of forgot about this game. And there was no way in hell we were going to get Venom, Advanced Suit 2.0, Miles, right? What else did we get from that? And then this one, Superior. Yeah. So there was no way in hell we were not going to get more suits from this game. I think this one's great. I love the black and red. I love the Alex Ross callback because I know he did a version of this as well. I know there's a more story to it in the comics and stuff, but I didn't pre-order this yet. I will eventually. I think it's going to sit around for a little bit but this is just sometimes you just look at stuff, it's just badass. And this is just outside the norm of normal Spider-Man for me. I love this. I will eventually pre-order it probably next couple of weeks. I got some other stuff I'm working on that I want to pay off first before I add this to the line of pre-orders. But what do you think about this? I know you were pretty excited about this when we talked about it.
Oh yeah, because this is like one of my favorite Spider-Man arcs in the comics. Because I mean, this is when Doc Ock switches bodies with Peter, and basically Doc Ock runs around as Spider-Man. So, like with this figure in your display, you can either have with the other Spider-Mans or you can keep them with the villains, because technically it's Doc Ock in Peter's body.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, it's funny because what was it, Hot Toys Hotline's last stream on Tuesday, I specifically said, don't be surprised if we see more Spider-Man 2 figures. And literally that night or the next night, this was announced because we knew this was coming. They weren't done. If you paid attention to the original Spider-Man video game and how Hot Toys leaked, I mean, all those suits, they didn't come out all at once. They just kind of slowly trickled out as time went along. So, and with Insomniac announcing the DLCs that are coming, the other suits that are coming, and from what I told you with all the leaks I've been gathering, like there's going to be a lot more suits in the game coming, and the DLC they have planned to keep rolling. They're going to keep rolling DLC out for the game until the Venom game comes out. So we're going to see a lot more characters, Carnage, possible children of Carnage supposed to be in the DLC, Chameleon, Black Cat. There's just a bunch. So don't be surprised if we see a lot more Hot Toys figures related to this game, just because we know that 2024 is going to be the year where it's going to be like an anime. We're going to have a lot of fillers in between the major releases of figures.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm really happy for this figure. Like I still have to get this and Venom though. Like they're in my cart. I can't pull the trigger yet.
And like I said, I love the call outs to the asymmetric patterns, the black design. It's just so cool too. And like one of the suits we talked about that they have to do, it's the anti-Venom, the white and the black. Yep. It's the final suit.
They're going to.
It's going to have to be done eventually, so it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
But sure.
They're going to do it because they did the negative suit from part 1.
Yep.
And that one came out a lot later. After they trickled out a lot of other suits, then they dropped it. So I have a feeling it'll be the same way with the anti-Venom suit.
Kirk K says 50 in the room and only 29 likes.
That's I already told you what I'm really hoping for, though. I want that nullified Miles.
Kirk, I don't get the love like other YouTubers do, but it's okay because we're here having fun, talking about toys. It's all that matters. But I appreciate the call out. I do. Thank you so much for that. Sean, what do you think about this? Is this something that, are you slowing down on the Spider-Man line at all? Is this something that you're just going to, because the Spider-Man line, I feel like is like Mando. Like you get in there and it's like, I regret half the Mando figures that I own. I know Spider-Man, the first game, I regret half the Mando figures that I own. I really do.
So I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. Like I don't have a lot. Like when I look at my collection, like I have 3 of the Iron Spider from Infinity War. I have the.
So it's one Spider-Man, not 3. You have 1.
I have. Well, I mean 3 of him, but then I have the Spider-Man Far From Home, the homemade suit, and have Gwen. Oh, and then I have the one that, what was it, on Sideshow where they said seconds and you had to go like hurry up, and I got that suit, the same one that was in Civil War.
Oh,
Spider-Man.
the Homecoming promo suit.
Oh yeah, you got that from
yeah.
You got the promo suit.
When we were watching like that live video,
you
and they're
got
like,
that
okay,
live.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember because I was trying to get it, and then you told me, "Hey, man, I got it." No.
But honestly, it's like that's like the only version of Spider-Man I really need. You know, and
I thought Sean was joking, and then Sean's like, "No," and he grabs his camera and he shows me. I was like, "I hate you. I hate you so much. You took it from me. I was literally checking out with it."
because that's the one that I wanted for my Civil War collection. And the rest of them, like,
you're the only person I know, by the way, that that actually got one of those things that I know in person. Like, actually grabbed one of those. I thought that was all fake, by the way. When Sideshow does those things, I feel like it's just bots taking those figures.
I'm sure they are, though.
The warehouse finds.
I'm sure there's some bots that are going through and doing it. You know, or I've always had a theory too. I mean, can't prove it. Don't know if it's true, but like, you know, when it like, oh yeah, now we're gonna announce, you know, this is a second chance, and like they're still making, you know, the announcement for it, and within like 20 seconds it's already gone. I'm like, man, some employee already snatched that up.
Do they still do warehouse finds, or they don't do those emails anymore?
Well, that's what the whole live thing is
Yeah, it's warehouse find. Yeah, but remember they used to do the emails. You used to get the email.
Yeah, I think they. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. I think they've switched now to just watch the live streams for their events to get the warehouse finds.
I definitely think they stopped doing it when, like, you guys remember when they did the Ghostbusters Blitzway 4-pack?
Yeah, and like
I
I
was at work. I had a heart attack when I saw that. I had a heart attack. I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like,
with like the other 10,000 people trying to get it into my cart.
"Oh, we just happened to find a Blitzway 4-pack in the warehouse." Okay.
Where was it? Oh, it was like in the corner behind some stuff. It was like almost like somebody was hiding it. Like they were getting ready to take
How do you mean? We have a 4-pack just sitting here. Let's send out a mass email to everybody at different time zones that get it differently to see who gets it. Yeah, that's smart. But so is this? So it sounds like to me you're not going to be picking this up, nor have you gotten anything else from the. So you're basically going to probably be dodging the whole Spider-Man 2 line altogether.
Yeah, but I do think this is cool looking. I have no idea anything about it though, or anything.
Yeah,
but I think it looks cool. But other than that, I mean, that's it for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'll just look. But I do like how people put their Spider-Man collections together. It's just not for me.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. I mean, this is something that I'll eventually get this. You know, like I said, it's not I didn't day one pre-order this. It's going to sit around, but I do love the look of it, everything like that, the design. I didn't really know much of the backstory until I was talking to some people the other day about it. Like, oh, you know, I just didn't know what it was. I do like it though. I love it looks different. You know, I love the different webbing on it. The design is just, it's something different versus red and blue all the time. So I was very much drawn to the aesthetics of it. So Big Dog Pound One, he says, every time I look at the pics of Spidey, I want to eat some snow crab legs. It's funny. Some guy says, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Don Prime says, I'm waiting on 5 or 6 orders at this point from Sideshow to show up for the last payment on shipping. March, hopefully going to be a bountiful month for figures. Absolutely. X-Men Supreme says, I saw a couple years ago where they announced some event winners and someone had won the John Wick figure and had been sold out forever. And I was like, what the F? Yep, absolutely. That's what it is. Joshua Alvarez says, I got it because I like the suit. That's a great looking piece. Absolutely. And Don says, these Spidey eyes look like gray alien eyes. I love the black, by the way. It's just different. It's like
it's supposed to have the menacing look to it because obviously it's Doc Ock.
Yeah, 100%. So I want to jump over to something else. And I brought up some info. So obviously, Beetlejuice.
Woo!
This was
Can't wait.
teased. I had an interesting theory, which is not mine, so I won't claim to know. I'll just want to give you some insight about this, obviously. So, Beetlejuice, this was teased on a live stream event the other day. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I know CMB, you were sending me photos for it. I'm just going to use this photo now for reference because it's been talked about, enough. But I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But I am excited about this. So, from my understanding, guys, and do either one of you have it? This is not Sideshow's first encounter with Beetlejuice. Apparently, they did make a first one that, from my understanding, it wasn't that great, right? It
No,
wasn't, the
no,
quality wasn't good.
no, man, no. That first Beetlejuice literally looks like Beetlejuice on meth.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Either one of you owned it or no?
I had no inclinations of owning it just because that version just looked like absolute trash. It literally looked like the Timu version of Beetlejuice.
This is 1,000% improvement.
The first one is literally like version. It's the Jeetle boost.
So this is pretty interesting. So I'll definitely be. I'm on the RSVP for this. So when this comes out, so I was in a chat the other day. Was it yesterday before? And someone mentioned something to me, and as I alluded to previously with the Black Adam, I was interested in who the sculptor was. And now, for those who don't know, the sculptor for this piece is actually Yixi.
Yep.
If anyone knows out in the live chat. So I brought this up. So Yixi posted this the other day on her Instagram, and this is her rendering. This is commissioned work from Sideshow, and so this is her version. This is her rendering of the sculpt, which looks awesome. Like, it looks really cool. And so there it is. Right there. She did the rendering. So for those in the live chat who are not familiar with Yixi's work, I just want to give you an idea. So like I said, these are just photos of her rendering of the Beetlejuice. And I'm going to go back through her Instagram page and just show you some of the pieces that she's worked on, just so you have an idea of who the artist was. She did the rendering of Cobb Vanth. She did that rendering. I'm just going through her Instagram. She does a lot of commission work, so you can just reach out and get something done. But I believe she also did the Young Flash for Hot Toys. She did the rendering for him. Bully Maguire. She did the Bully Maguire one. So these are all renderings that she did. And like I said, she does commission pieces as well. There's Moff Gideon, the new version of Moff Gideon, amongst others. Really
David
great.
From Lost Boys.
Yep. And this was not a Hot Toys, but this was a private piece that I liked a lot, with the smiling sculpt from, and you see Brad Pitt here from Fight Club. I mean, and then I loved her Bruce Wayne. Like, that is just amazing work. So the pedigree is there, is what I'm trying to say. And so here's the theory that we have. Obviously, we don't know the price of this piece here. What would you guess if you had you think like a $350 piece, probably $350?
I don't know. It's Sideshow's first rooted. I'm thinking that they're probably going to go 300, 315.
Like I said, there's a reason why I'm asking the question, because assuming that the sculpt that you see here and the prototype, it translates to final production where everything holds true. Don's saying 312.
I would say around 300, but just because of the outrageous prices that we've seen with some of their other 1/6 scale stuff, that's not like, I just wish they would stop making 1/6 scale Star Wars, unless they're going to get the Clone Wars line back and they just make clones.
Well,
but outside of that,
there's a reason why I'm saying this, is because you're getting a premium sculpt done by a premium sculptor, a very famous, popular sculptor, I would say. That if you reached out to her for a commission piece on just a sculpt, you're probably looking at a few $100s, if not 100, 150, maybe 200 for a sculpt. You're probably. So for me, and like I said, this wasn't, but if you think about the value of this figure, assuming that sculpt maintains through production, you're getting a premium custom sculpt pretty much.
Well, bring up the price of David from the Lost Boys because she did the head sculpt for that.
She did. Okay.
But that didn't have rooted hair.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. But we can get an estimate and then add more for the rooted hair.
$290. So you figure, you know.
So I'm thinking that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking if this is $290, then I'm gonna go ahead and say anywhere from $300 to $325 for Beetlejuice.
I'm just saying that the value is there because you're getting a sculpt done by a premium sculptor. This isn't like, you know, Joe the plumber sculpting it. It's a very known, famous sculptor who, if you were to reach out to get a sculpt on your own, just done, not even painted and rooted, you're probably looking at, I don't even know how much, but you're probably looking at over $100 alone just in the sculpt. And so I think that that's a phenomenal value for this Beetlejuice. That's my opinion, boys. Like I said, if worst case you wanted to get it repainted because the painting sucks, you have a fantastic foundation of a head sculpt. Like I said, that's assuming it makes its way to final and that it doesn't venture, you know, it doesn't change or anything like that. I think you have a fantastic, the body, the tailoring on the suit's great. I mean, I could see someone maybe going to get it repainted because the paint does make a difference. That really makes or breaks the figure. But all I'm trying to say is that, you know, when I was talking to someone, they were saying like, you have a fantastic foundation of a head sculpt that if you went and got that sculpt alone, you're probably paying maybe north of what that figure is in itself. And you're getting a body, a tailored outfit, you know, and honestly, the rooting of the hair, even if it's fine, it could definitely pass. I think that the value can definitely, even if this was like $350, like with Carlito saying $350, I still think the value's there for who the sculptor is and what the potential of that sculpt can be.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, plus you look at it like Sideshow's really good about their horror line of figures. Like what they show you as far as prototypes with their horror figures is pretty spot on what you get with the final. I mean, with you look at Leatherface, both the Lady Mask and the Killing Mask. You look at Jason. You look at, I mean, the only one that's kind of off is the Freddy one, but it's not off to the point where you don't know that it's Freddy Krueger. I mean, it's just a little bit off from Robert Englund's face. But as far as everything else, like their horror lines, they pretty much knock it out of the park. And that's what I was telling you and other people, that I think Sideshow, as far as when they're doing 6-scale figures, they should probably stick to the horror line because that's a niche that they dug into, and they pretty much knock it out of the park every time with horrors. And it's an untapped market. There's so many horror collectors, but not enough horror figures being made.
100% agree. Absolutely.
So I think, and with this being their first rooted style, I think that they're going to make sure that this goes all out. And I think that they learned their mistake from the Grievous reissue, not to try and screw collectors over and pass a bunk ass figure as updated and a 2.0 when it really wasn't. I mean, everybody knew it when they looked at the bottom of the base and it said 2015 on it.
Yeah. See, this is my thing with this is with the horror line, there's not a lot of companion pieces to go with it. Like if Sideshow wants us to be really successful, the smart thing would be to have like a companion piece with it. You know, either it's Winona Ryder's character or, you know, maybe even not another character, but maybe like a diorama piece to really go with it.
Do the married couple, I always forget the name, but when they turn themselves all spooky, like the weird face and the mouth face to try and scare the Dietzes out of the house.
Yeah.
You know, or even just multiple versions of Beetlejuice. If you want to continue this line, I was telling Don Prime, I think the wedding suit would be a good variant to go with it as a companion piece, you know, because there's different times in the movies where he's got different outfits, like when he's bathing in the graveyard, and he's got like the taxi hat and the boxer shorts and the robe. And you could literally just, because I mean, it's the same head sculpt, you would just change the outfits and you can get the different variants.
Yeah. I'm looking at something else I'm going to bring up, actually.
So, I mean, I think
there's more.
No. There's one other thing that I was going to talk about because I want to jump in and look at some comments. But yeah, Carlita says the value will be in the sculpt. The production is as good as the prototype. Body, cut and sew, and accessories will all be icing on the cake. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Martin says, "How are the bodies on Sideshow's horror figures? Do you
I
guys
have
have
no.
those too?"
I have
Yeah,
every single horror figure. Yeah, I don't. I like them. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They're not. Mine aren't loose or anything like that. You know, they stand on their own. I've never seen them collapse.
I have no idea. I've never had them.
You
The only Sideshow figure I can attest to is General Grievous.
Yeah, no,
The
I have Jason, Freddy, Leatherface with the killing mask.
Did they do Michael Myers?
Yes, I have Michael Myers. Yeah, that's it for with Sideshow Horror. I mean, other than David from Lost Boys, which is on pre-order, and then the Beetlejuice right here.
I almost got the Michael Myers, but I was hesitant on it because I watched Dean Knight's video on it and saw how inaccurate it was, and I was like, well, for the amount of money,
I mean, the only real inaccuracies is just towards the top of the hair area. They kind of didn't paint it all the way white, but I mean, Moz did a great video on how to remedy that.
yeah.
So if you guys want to get the Michael Myers, but you want to actually make it more accurate, Moz from Moz's Toy Box, he actually has a great video on how to make it movie accurate, and it doesn't take much. Like he just did little tweaks here and there, and pretty much got that mask like cleaned up and the way it should actually look.
So I think we could segue into the last. This technically was the last topic of the evening. We probably would have went a little longer if Hadalorian, like I said, was here, but he was unable to join us. He had a last minute situation that popped up. But why not? We just bring this. This actually came up right before. I don't know if you guys are interested in a little bit different than the 6 scale, but Mondo saw this pop up on Facebook. This was on before we came on, but it looks like they announced Rogue and Gambit 1/6 scale. So basically, this is on their official website. We've been teasing our X-Men, the animated series, Hero, for a few months. Now it's official. Rogue is here. A total badass who's packed a punch. Rogue is at her fiercest in X-Task. We're excited to finally add this knockout to our Mondo 1/6 line. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't collect Mondo personally, but for those who are, I just wanted to bring this up to show, you got X-Men Supreme is excited. There you go. So it looks pretty cool. I mean, like I said, the only Mondo that I'm interested in, and I am aware of them, is if I know they teased the animated Spider-Man series. I think they did like a Spider-Man, a symbiote Spider-Man, and like a Peter Parker. So like if that comes around to fruition, I'll definitely be jumping on those. But for anyone who's interested, standing 11.75 inches tall, it is restricted to 1,000 total figures. The limited edition also features the destroyed Sentinel base. So I like no complaints here. It looks really cool. Like if you're into it, I think it's a win. A really awesome looking piece. And then at the bottom, it actually says, as many of you guessed, we've been saving the much anticipated regular edition of our Gambit 1/6 figure for this very occasion. So it looks like it's going to be both the regular. Like I said, I don't know too much more outside of that, but I did want to bring this up. Yeah, so like I said, this is really, really cool. I know X-Men Supreme is kind of going off in the comments. He seems really happy about it. There you go. So it looks like there's 2 different sculpts here. The hair, so you have like a difference there, like an evolution kind of thing. So it looks really neat. I really like this a lot. I don't know what the price of these are. They're like 200, aren't they? Somewhere in that range. Like usually the 200.
No, Mondo is usually like 285, bro.
Oh, okay. So it's like legit 6 scale pricing. All right. Like I said, I'm being ignorant here. What's that?
I said maybe more. I don't know. I mean, I've never owned
I have
anything.
no idea. No, I just saw this pop up before we went on stream.
Have,
I was cool to bring up.
Okay,
So
let's see. I think the X-Men figures are cheaper because I'm looking like well, no, I think because these aren't the exclusives. Because the exclusives like that where it gives you extra is usually more, but because they got
230, 235.
Yeah, they got like Sabretooth, the regular version's there for 225. Magneto, the regular version's 215. Jubilee, limited edition is 205. So it kind of, I guess, just depends on, I guess, the character and what lineup they're doing. Because, I mean, like their Batman animated series is like 230. One of them's 190. So I think it just depends on what you're grabbing as far as the figure and who it is. So I know Skeletor
absolutely.
was like 275.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at some of them on their website right now. Like I said, they range between 200 to 235, and if not more. So the range is, like I said, Jubilee's there,
The
Magneto. So
character,
that's
I
cool.
think.
Yeah. Like I said, I just wanted to bring that up. There's Magneto too. I just wanted to bring it up because, like I said, it popped up before stream, and so I know people are going to be excited about this. But I just wanted to, throw it out there. Carlito's saying Mondo makes great figures. I love the Moto line, but Hano will make these. I'll wait on them. X-Men Supreme says no, they're around 200-ish. Sabretooth was 240 for exclusive, but he is huge. Yep, yeah, we're just checking the website now to see their pricing, which is fine. Like I said, just wasn't sure.
It just ranges like depending on the character.
Yeah.
Like if you go through their site, it depends. Like I guess it just depends too on how much they're offering with the exclusives, because the exclusives, they're on a timer and they're always going to be more because you're getting more. But then once the timer runs out, they bring in the regular editions. The regular editions are going to be cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely. No, like
because
I said,
they don't
just want
come
to
with as much.
Yeah. He says, I wasn't going to do the animated figures, but the Mondo made Logan, and now I'm pretty much all in on animated. Yeah, I remember they did the one in the bed. Yeah, Mondo Wolverine in the bed was
And they even
160.
gave you the damn picture. That's why everybody wanted it, because they gave you Wolverine in the bed and he had the picture frame.
Yes, touching the foot frame. I do remember that. So, like I said, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Like I said, we're about an hour and a half. That's about where I wanted to be, which I think was fair. We probably would have been longer if we had more, like I said, if Sean was here, probably would have had a deeper conversation. But I think we touched on everything that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to keep it in that kind of hour and a half range because I had one hell of a day. I was pretty tired. My daughter kind of put me through the ringer like all day. I've been up since 5 o'clock and I'm exhausted.
Just think, bro. You get to do it again when your boy comes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have another one.
You get to do it on repeat.
Then another. And another.
And another. Well, what's gonna probably happen is that, like, when my wife, we do the shifts where we split, I'll probably be on stream with holding my son like this or next to the crib. I'll be streaming, like I'll be on duty at night streaming, and he'll be next to me in the crib sleeping downstairs in the toy room. So that's probably what it's gonna be. But
it'll turn to the Hot Toys our Mr. Mom Collectibles ASMR. Now, guys, I really want to tell you about this version of the C3-PO that was just announced by
guys. The C3PO was so nice. Yeah, Mr. Mom's Daycare. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to rename the stream Mr. Mom's Daycare. The Daycare. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to call the streams the Daycare from now on. That's the name of the stream is going to be the Daycare. So yeah, and Scrunchy. Yeah, hashtag Scrunchy Crew. Yeah, I got so much shit. What's that?
Oh, I got a cool name. Cribside Collectibles.
Mom's diaper change break. Yeah, I got so much shit for that because my wife is making fun of me because, as you can tell, yes, I have a pink scrunchie in my hair because I'm rocking the Roman Reigns tribal chief look for when I went to Mexico. So, like I said, acknowledge me. That's gonna be my new acknowledge me, like Roman Reigns says. But it was funny. I got to give credit to Carlito, because he made a joke, and I don't know if he took me serious about it, because I did, like I said, I opened up the channel memberships. So I know he joined, a few other people joined. I thank you so much for those who joined. And everyone comes up with a name, whatever it is, and stuff like that. And so I think mine was just called channel supporter. It's just like generic. It just gets put up there. And then I think we were joking about something, and like in some live chats, people were talking shit about me because it's like, oh, you're wearing a pink scrunchie. I'm like, I wear a pink sweatshirt. I really don't care. And so this is me literally how I am. I'm not designing for show. And so I think I called bluff, and I renamed my channel membership the Scrunchy Squad. I think that's what it's called. Or he's saying the Scrunchy Crew, but I think I named it the Scrunchy Squad just to be as lame as possible. So if you want to be a member of the Scrunchy Squad, it is there available for you, and I will have emojis and stuff like that. I don't think Carlito used your emoji yet. I don't know if he did. I got to have different color scrunchy emojis, but it's totally a joke, just playing into it. If you want to make fun of me, I'm just going to double down on it because everyone's got a gimmick. So I thought it'd be funny. And you know what? Got to have a little bit of humor. Otherwise, life sucks. So have some fun with it. You know what I mean? So
if you can't laugh at yourself, then what's the point?
exactly, right? Exactly. I mean, I'm on stream with a scrunchie in my hair for an hour and 40 minutes, so make fun of me. I really don't care.
Life's not that
Lavender,
serious.
lavender. It is technically lavender, not pink. But Carlito said some guy
Salmon.
was said
It's not
said he
pink.
was
It's
sick.
salmon. Salmon's a manly
But
color.
either
damn
way,
it.
there you go. But how's the reception on the head antenna? Yeah, funny. Thanks, Don. Hey man, you know what? For those who made fun of me, at least I have a head of hair that I could put I can put it up in a scrunchie. So when you get a head of hair, then come talk to me. But until then, it is what it is. Sean, I'm not making fun of you, man. Don't worry. I'm making fun
Dude,
of
whatever
Don.
yeah you are, dude.
No, I'm just kidding. I make fun of her.
I've
It's
got more
just
hair
a
than
joke.
Don, so it's all right.
No, it's all good. I love Don though,
That's
so
messed
he
up.
can make his joke. I love Don. Don, you're not allowed to send me any gifts for my next child. He sent my daughter more than enough stuff. I'm afraid when I have another kid, I'm gonna start having packages come on my doorstep.
Whatever, dude. You're gonna find like this shed in your backyard one day, and Don's gonna be moved back there. He's gonna be like, "I need to help you babysit." I'm like, no, Don, no. It's my gift to you.
He's more than happy to come if he wants to be a babysitter for a while. I'm perfectly fine with that to get a break. I like that, big dog. Thank you, Roman Red. Yeah, Roman Red says acknowledge me and like and subscribe to Mr. Mom. Yes, acknowledge me. That will be my new intro for the next stream. Will be acknowledge me. I'll just put my finger up like that. That's what it's going to be. So, but Sean, do you have anything? I'm stagnant in terms of I'm grail hunting pretty much. You know, I got a couple of Ghostbusters coming in for those who don't know. I got in, like I said, got my Peter Venkman in. He literally came today. I didn't think the mail was going to come, but this showed up at my doorstep. And so I unboxed it pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, because today is President's Day.
Dude, it was weird. It said it was out for delivery at 6 a.m. by like local mail. And then at like 2 o'clock, I hear a thud on the front step and I open the door and this was sitting on the front. Like, I'm very surprised that I got this delivered today. I'm very surprised. But I don't have any. I have a bunch of POs that I'm just literally waiting for invoices on. I got Black Catwoman, Batman 22, Toby, C3-PO, Black Adam, Morbius. I pre-ordered Morbius. I was like, I get that one, but I'm just waiting on invoices. Otherwise, I don't have anything else. You have anything else coming in, or
I have like 11 items that I'm waiting for Sideshow to ship out that have already been released. So it's not Sideshow's fault.
No, it's just the
it's the whole port thing.
Our stuff was probably on one of them boats that got bombed to the bottom of the sea.
I mean, you got to think about it too. Is before the end of the new year or whatever, they found the bodies in a shipping container, so they had to stop everything and go through and search every shipping container on a ship.
Yeah.
And closing that part of the port. And that takes a long time with how many shipping containers are on one of those ships.
Yep.
So someone tried to traffic people or bring them here illegally, and everyone ended up being dead. So I'm sorry, but my toys can wait when something like that happens.
I appreciate you're actually sensitive to the situation. Not
well, you're
welcome.
I'm trying to be sensitive. I'm actually being real.
No, I'm not kidding. Because other people are like, "Where's my shit? Where's my shit?"
I try to always tell people, like, if you're going to be in this game, the first skill you need to learn is patience.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen in open water. You know, it's international shipping lanes, which means it's not part of any country. Yep. No country controls it. No one polices it, and pirating is real.
Yep. Like in Step Brothers, when Rob Riggle says, what does he say? He said, what did he say? Like, I'll eat your dick like Kobayashi sushi. Yum, 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 yum. I seen it. He did it. It's okay, though. It was on international waters, so it was legal.
So you'd just be surprised about the security on cruise ships, what they're actually allowed to do, and what they actually carry in their cabins. So it all looks like nothing.
Watch the videos on YouTube. Or, what was it? Bunker 530 used to have all the maritime videos.
So, but yeah,
just waiting, like we all are. C&B, you're probably in the same boat. Just waiting.
Just waiting. Just waiting.
Waiting. Okay,
That's all
anybody
good.
not waiting in the chat?
Did anybody get anything? I know. I see a couple of things trickle in on Facebook, like the the Batman. Every once in
I'm
a
still waiting
while.
on my Batman to show up.
I know.
So is Sean.
I know.
Yeah.
We talked about that the other day.
And I got the signal. I got the motorcycle. I need Batman.
Yeah,
I got the signal. I got the Bat Cycle. I just got no Batman to go with it.
I think I need a bat cycle. I don't have one. I might have to check something, but I'm not in the mood for it. Like I don't need it right now. I got a waitlist conversion for the collector's edition of Batman, like the $300 version. That's the one I wanted. I got a waitlist literally on the way home, on the flight home from Mexico, like last week or week before. So I grabbed that one, which I'm very happy for. First payments for the '89 Batman came out. So for those who, we're getting into Flash territory now with all those Flash figures. I think my modern suit is like not that far away either. And I have 2 of those on order. So X-Men Supreme says, I have Toby coming in at some point, but other than that, my Batwing should be here this week. Oh, congrats on that. If that's the Batwing from, I'm assuming Jaz Inc. That's bad. That's balls right there. And Joshua says King Shark for only $5 due to points and rewards. Well, there you go.
Nice.
That's a deal right there. Is what I'm talking about. That is a deal.
Best $5 ever spent.
Some guy dropping the links. You're not just some guy. You're the guy tonight doing work. I appreciate that. It says join the channel to get access, and they're dropping that in there for thank you so much. And on Instagram link.
Hey, you guys realize that he chose a picture of an international criminal who's tossing a grenade under a car at a woman who's been shot and hurt. Some guy that's pretty badass.
That's why there's only one like you. There it is. Sean, that breakdown is amazing. That description of that.
Am I wrong?
I'm not here. No, I'm not. No, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. But I'm just running through some comments just to see anything else. Don Prime says, make sure you think about how you mount your Batwing. The included wall struts might not be enough. Yeah, there is a. I know there's a bracket that's out there for that thing. That people are.
Yeah, you need to get the extra bracket.
I forget who makes it. There's
like Don's just trying to be nice. Like there is no might. Like we broke that down on Geeking Out. Like Don and I. Like it's literally. You need to have another bracket system. There's no way that the one that's included is going to hold up over time.
Some guy says he described me to a T. And Carlito says some guy's the hardest working guy in YouTube. I think he's doing that on purpose because I was making fun of him before because I think I said something about a video. And that's what it was. I was talking to some guy, like, was it yesterday, the day before? And he asked me my opinion about something. And I was like, well, I guess you didn't see my YouTube video. And I was like, ooh, shots fired. So I think he's doing double duty tonight to make up for me accusing him of not watching my stuff, which was a total joke. But I think he made up for it with his work tonight with dropping the links for everybody. He goes 100. So, but yeah, the 500 wall mount. I'm debating to hang it or incorporate it to my display. But that being said, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. We just hit the hour and 48 mark. I know we're just kind of shooting the shit towards the end, but I do appreciate it as always. Like I said, we'll be on Mondays. I did 7:45 tonight. I am trying to debate between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. Ideally, 8 o'clock is the perfect time because I usually hit about an hour and a half. So start a little later, but between 7:30, 7:45, so to speak, is where I want to be. And but it was good. Like I said, we covered all the topics we want to talk about. 2 hours, talk about Vader. Talk about Vader. 2 hours.
I mean, if we go 12 more minutes, we even it out to 2 hours.
Yeah, well,
hey, I did get these in, by the way, for the G.I. Joe fans. Those are actually the original. They're not reproduction cards, by the way.
Do I have anything else? Or let me see. I don't have.
And then I got Alfred, the what is it? The old housekeeper.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that one too.
So that arrived. I just haven't opened it yet.
And by the way,
just can't stop with the junk food.
Who, me?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I forgot.
You're breaking your diet with junk food.
Hey, I forgot to tell you too, CMB. I got a director credit for $250 from the nerd store here in Utah.
Special
Sorry, I
place
just
in
tried to
hell
rub
for
it.
you. Just to let you know, there's a special place in hell for you.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'll be there, and you'll know because I'll be sitting there with an extra seat waiting on you with a glass of ice water.
I got a first plane. I got a first class ticket window, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I got the window seat.
Oh
It's
no,
okay. I'll
trust me,
probably
I
be there
got
first. I'll save
plenty
you a
of
spot.
seats. I got plenty of seats, and we're all going.
Yeah, but it's hard with the old housekeeper. Yeah, because it's like you don't need them, but they do complement your display, especially if you have a vision of how you want your display to be. Like I have a specific way of how my 89 setup is going to be right now when I move downstairs. So like having the two Batmobiles and stuff like that. So it was kind of hard to kind of like that. Bruce Wayne is badass. The Mr. J, it is awesome. The Joker is good too, and the Alfred. It's like that's how third party gets you. It's like how do you not? You know what I mean? How do you not get it?
So this is how my returns Batman is.
Just tease that. That's cool. I don't need
Yeah.
one. Like
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, first he got me
Alfred,
with
and then the
Krennic.
Penguin on the other side.
He got me with Krennic, and now he's rubbing it with Batman Returns. I mean,
Oh my god. I'm
Do you have the
sorry.
2-pack or is that just the returns a single? Do you have the 2-pack?
No, I actually got this from
I mean cereal. So
someone who was selling it. He's actually from Utah, but he was selling it on a buy sell trade group. And I just kept it in the pose because he has that right there. And then this is a custom cape that's wired in. And I just decided to keep it in the same pose that he had.
looks like it's sold off from the 2-packs. I don't think the 2-pack had the damaged sculpt.
No, it didn't. He got it custom painted.
I got you.
So
Yeah, I had reached out to Jeremy Casa over at Plastic Hero Collectibles. Shout out to him, by the way, because I didn't, I got a lot of my stuff from him lately. Yeah, I had asked for him to keep an eye out for the 92 Batman, just the Batman by itself. I don't need the 2-pack. Even if there is a chance, like X-Men Supreme says, he's hoping for a 2.0. I'm still all right. Like I'm not that person, by the way, that gets pissed off if like I get a figure and then like it gets 2.0 like a year later, like, oh damn it, like I'm not upset about that because chances are I'm going to buy that one anyway and use it for something like the 89 Batman. Like I have the DXO at 9. I'm still buying the new one because it's a proper upgrade and I will use him in a different portion of my display. So that's why I'm not upset about that. Even like the Ghostbusters, like I got, I'm not getting the present toys junk food. I'm getting, the originals. And even if they talked about like redoing these, or if we got like a new set, I'd still buy those because I'm such a huge Ghostbusters fan. So that's just me personally. I have no problem with that. And like I said, shout out to the live chat. If you guys are watching, if you know anybody, and I'm going to do this on every one of my streams, if you know anybody who's in the market that has a Ghostbusters Egon and or a Winston, put up the bat signal and let me know because I am piecing mine out individually. Yeah. I don't have the money to spend up front. It's working so far for what I got. Ray and Peter, I'm so far right on budget of what I'm willing to spend for the 4 figures a la carte. I do understand that Winston's going to be more money because he's definitely sought after. Yes, summon the scrunchy signal. Yes, put the scrunchy signal out and put out some feelers there. I am checking eBay, other sources, anywhere really. I'm not, I even told Jeremy too about it. So, but putting out there, everyone has an Egon and Winston, whatever. Let me know, and then I'm hoping that by the end of the year, I could take a shot at the Ecto 1, 84 Ecto 1. That's what the plan is.
whew, baller.
Well, try to figure it out, but yeah, like I said, putting the feelers out there.
Trying to figure it out, it's only a $4,000 vehicle, but it's cool.
No, actually, no. I found a few that are well under that. It's just that, gotta have the means together. I found some for like 2,500 that are within reason, absolutely fine. So it'll probably be a local pickup or a pickup of within a few hours, but I want to try to score the figures first and then go for the car. So my plan is to Egon. I've seen before pop up in places like on eBay and stuff. So if I can grab Egon, that'd be awesome. Winston, I do have the Present Toys one on order. I haven't canceled that one yet. I am very torn because I kind of want one of those figures to do a comparison of like that compared to the original Blitzway to see kind of how much of a difference there was, you know, compared to them. But also, I don't want to spend $200 on a third party figure. I've had difference of opinions whether, you know, it's either way. We'll see what happens. But Winston's going to be the hardest one. But like I said, I'm summoning the power of the scrunchies to see if something happens.
Well, if you do a review with the Winston, you can always turn around and then just chuck the Present Toys as a giveaway.
Yeah, well, that someone even said the Present Toys one could still be sought after because so many people are going to need a Winston. Like Denobi needs a Winston for his collection because he bought the 3-pack and didn't get the 4. So,
Yeah.
and that's what's incredibly hard about these Ghostbusters is that it's not like they were sold individually, so therefore you can buy them. You're only buying them because people are breaking up the group set. That it's the only way. So I argue and say this is probably one of the more sought after 6-scale figures I've ever been involved in trying to find. Like amongst other things, it's just because they're not. You're trying to get it from somebody that's breaking up an existing set, which just doesn't happen. And from what I've seen, buyers don't want to come off their. Sellers don't want to come off their price, and buyers don't want to move up from their price. So there's like a disconnection that just sits there. That's why you can go on eBay and always find them just like there, but there's always a disconnection because no one wants to kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah,
but
I
nevertheless,
think you're gonna have to get some official merch. Everybody in the chat's talking about scrunchies.
yo, to the
Yeah.
Scrunchy Mobile, we need scrunchies. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think
There
you're
you
gonna
go.
have to start getting some branded
go.
Mr. Mom scrunchies for the.
I'll get some
for the
custom
chat.
scrunchies done. Well, you know, like I said, get some. If I build up my scrunchy army, like I said, that's what you know. We'll see what happens. We'll build up the scrunchy army and see what happens. But I like to have fun, man. People are making fun of me. They're like, take the scrunchie out of your hair, you bum. Well, it's fun. It's what it is, man. Like I said, if I don't wear it on my, if I don't wear it on my hair, I wear it on my wrist, so it's fine. But nevertheless, guys, we're hitting the hour 56-minute mark. I stretched this out for another 10 minutes. Sean's falling asleep on stream as we speak. He's thinking,
how am I falling asleep?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Dude, what are you doing?
I keyed.
So
I was gonna add one more comment though.
talk,
Yeah.
man.
So, you know, when going back and everything, you're looking for like your grail pieces or whatever. You know, it's just be prepared to pay high. And if it's too high for you right now, don't go for it. Just wait.
Yeah.
You know, it's
The
because you always
waiting
have
game
those
pays
people
off.
that are like, "Oh, I finally got my grail piece," and then like 2 months later, they're trying to sell it for the same amount,
Well,
and nobody's buying.
so I'll give you some context in that, Sean. That's a pretty good comment, right? So the Ghostbusters, I paid a pretty decent amount of money for 2 of them so far, right? Nothing crazy, but it's still like a lot of money above retail. But the thing is, I was talking to Nate about this. I'm saving money on my regular pre-orders by going from, you know, like we all have backup places, either free shipping, rewards, you know, whatever have you, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. That the savings that I'm making on those figures makes this more palatable for me. If I was buying all my figures, all my pre-orders from Sideshow, paying tax shipping out the door, I would not be able to have the opportunity to backwards get a couple things. You get what I'm saying? Like the Ghostbusters, the Jack Sparrow. I am only able to do that because on my existing pre-orders, I'm saving pretty much all the time on a figure. I did a video last year showing that out of 10 figures, I saved about $600 in savings. I did a comparison at the end of the year where I showed what I paid and what it was retail, what I paid, what it was retail. So I'm just continuing that trend. That's why this makes it totally palatable for me that I can buy this, be content with it, because I know that I've saved money on other figures that allows me the opportunity to backwards collect a little bit. That's just me though. So that's why like this is fine. But you're right though. It's just you got to be careful. You got to be content, Sean, about there's a chance that figure could get reissued or 2.0. You have to be content with understanding that. If you're fine, then go for it.
Just like, for example, I've been looking for a second Director Krennic for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, but it's never been in like my top 5 or top 10 to go after. So I've been waiting and I waited and then I got it. And no, that's not another jab, C&D. But like, for example, you know, I mean, for looking at the back end, like I've been looking for the animation Boba Fett, and I could have bought it for like $700-800, and now I'm doing a trade with someone, which I'm really happy about, and to get it just because I waited. And I've always had the rule of never buying 5 items that are not in stock anymore, that are sold out per year above retail price. So after that, it's, you know, I have to wait out the rest of the year. And I've been really good at that. But now I'm to the point in my collection where the only thing I'm going to have to spend more on retail on is the Batman Returns 2-pack, because I still want that.
Yeah.
And I need to get 2 Royal Guards.
Hit up Jeremy.
Damn, I wish I would have known you were looking for the 2-packs, because one of the stores, not near me, but in Georgia, that I follow on eBay, they had that 2-pack come in, and they only wanted $489 for it.
Damn. So
I would have hit you up and been like, "Yo, they got it."
You know, that's really it. That's all that I'm going backwards for right now that I can think of. I mean, I'm sure if I started going through the list of all Hot Toys, you know, there's going to be something else, but those are the only 3 I need.
There's only a few that I have Jeremy looking for me. It was like animated Boba Fett, the Batman Returns, just the Returns, the Vader Tarkin 2-pack. How
much you willing to spend for that animated Boba?
Oh, see that? Oh, you see that? I don't know. I got to figure out. I gave him a budget on some stuff, so it depends.
Just let me know, because I'll talk to you after the stream, because I have there's someone selling it, and that's why I'm saying I'm trying to figure out how much you're wanting for it. Because if it's the same, then I'll just send you the link. That's
copy that. And then believe it or not, I also want the Ichabod Crane from Sleepy Hollow. I want that one. That one looks good. That Johnny Depp one, that looks really cool. I like that.
What about Edward Scissorhands?
The Hot Toys do that, or did Sideshow do that?
And I'm not sure. I know I've seen it in 1/6. I don't know who made it, though.
I mean, there's the third parties that just recently did them, and they actually came out really well. So,
yeah.
I mean, they look just like, you know, Johnny Depp when he played Edward Scissorhands. Sounds like you're building a Johnny shrine.
Well, there's certain. My goal for this year is to add more uniqueness to my collection. I'm kind of tired of like generic stuff. Like I have enough Captain Americas. I have enough Thors. That's why I passed on the whole Love and Thunder series. So I want more like unique stuff. Like when you like the Ghostbusters, they're totally unique. The Jack Sparrow.
You can get a Johnny Depp Tonto for pretty cheap on eBay.
Well, it wasn't even like I'm going down a Johnny Depp rabbit hole. It's just that I was looking on a list of figures that they made, and there was a website that just lists every hot toy ever made in like serial in like number order.
Mm-hmm.
I was just scrolling through figures, and when I saw that one from Sleepy Hollow, I was like, dude, that looks like really cool. Like it's just an oddball figure that you just don't see a lot of. And I'm like, it just looks really good. And for an older piece, it looks really awesome. So I was like,
there's also the Sweeney Todd.
I saw the Sweeney Todd one too. Yeah, it looks really cool too. So,
I'm just saying, you can always. I mean, if you're building a shrine to Keanu or to Johnny Depp, it's not bad. I mean, I got my Keanu shrine where it's like every Keanu 6-scale figure I have.
Yep. So,
except for the Matrix Resurrections, just because I mean, that one is a generic body with the Johnny Silverhand head sculpt.
Yep. So I think we'll leave it there, guy, though. We got 50 people. We're ending with 50 people watching us. I do appreciate that. We were holding 50 to 60 plus the entire stream for these 3 knuckleheads that were talking about toys on this Monday, on this President's Day. So those who were off today, I hope you enjoyed your day with and did whatever you wanted to do. If you wanted to relax, good for you. Want to do some work around the house, doesn't matter, but I hope you guys enjoyed the day off. Those who worked, I'm sorry to hear that. Look who it is. Plastic Hero Collectibles. I'm late. Well, you're never late. You're just, on your own time. You're not late. But Eric's saying thank you so much. Great stream as always. Plastic Hero, it's Jeremy over at Plastic Hero Collectibles. You guys hear me shout him out almost all the time, right? He's a great guy. I've gotten the Jack Sparrow. I got a bunch of figures from him, from Jeremy. So great guy. He has a Facebook group, Plastic Hero Collectibles. If you are interested in any grails, pre-orders, Hot Toys, in art, whatever it is, I do recommend him. I have no Philly. He's a great guy. We talk all the time. Let's I have all the bliss ready. 100. Yes. See, thanks, Jeremy. I really do appreciate it. So I'll buy them all from you right now. We'll make a deal right now. But Jeremy's a great guy. Thanks. In terms of, we talk all the time, and he's just someone, if you're looking for stuff, just another resource out there that I can vouch for. That great communication, and he's not someone that's just looking to always sell you something. He will guide you in the right direction of what's best for you. And he has advised me, like, hey, the price on this X, Y, and Z is just too high right now. Probably doesn't recommend stuff. So I appreciate that. Honesty and transparency is very difficult to find from people nowadays, especially in the buy and sell market, when they're trying to make some money and selling stuff. So it is hard to find people that are honest and transparent. And I can honestly say Jeremy is one of those people. If you don't believe me, join his Facebook group, find out for yourself. It's a great group, and Jeremy's a great guy, and he's willing to help anybody out, try to find stuff. So Jeremy, thank you so much as always. Some of these figures, some of these content videos wouldn't be available because of you, so thanks so much, buddy. But there's your link for his group. Like I said, some guy coming through as always. But like I said, guys, I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, drop the like on the stream. If you don't mind, that means so much to me. Dropping a like on the stream just shows YouTube that there is engagement. That is what I try to do with all my videos, is engage. I don't care about subscribers. I don't care about views. I care about engagement. That is what actually grows the channel. When you drop a like on the video, or you even comment, if you tell me that I suck or you tell me I'm great, that's still engagement. And YouTube sees that, and they help put that content out further into the algorithm. Super chats and everything are fun, but dropping a like on the video is free, and it's effortless to do. Dropping a comment is always great. I try to respond back to all comments, even the haters out there that make fun of me for my scrunchie. I still love you anyway. It doesn't matter. Until then, Sean, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for spending some of your time tonight with me. I thank you so much, as always. And like I said, open invite anytime you want to come back. CMB, I talk to you all the time. I'll probably talk after. It's like this is just an extension, basically. Yep. So we'll probably talk later. But until then, guys, this is Mr. Mom Collectibles saying take care, and I will see you guys in the next stream. And I'm going to end it with a little video here because my dogs are at the front door, and he's upset that I'm taking too long. So
that's everything.
Thanks.
Thank you.